kusonga pia ni kushuka nywele. Nenda kusongwa.
And that's on Kiswahili vitate. Ai hapana vitawi.
Chemsha bongo. Ati hiyo ni vita? Umesema vitawi.
Since we're speaking about Ken Walibora.
No, Ken Walibora was a lecturer at my school.
Did you pass?
Yeah, he passed on. But then they said like they were weird, like it was a weird death. Yeah, because when they were investigating that his autopsy wasn't making sense. It's like it was a murder.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, we can start by introducing ourselves. We are okay. Hi guys. The topic today is on fears. And just Steph mentioned something right before we started filming this, and that's why we decided to film this video. So even for us it's a bit like fresh.
Very fresh.
Yeah, so if you feel like our emotions are all over the place or we're not sounding too coherent, it's because we are also like just talking about it right now. Yeah,
like so this is the first conversation we're gonna have about it.
Fear.
Yeah. This guy's asked me what's my greatest fear, and I said my greatest fear is my parents, or generally just people that I love passing on. And so after saying that, I asked them, do you think it's rational to have a fear that is inevitable? Because at the end of the day we all die, you know. So is it rational to have a fear that the eventuality of it is certain? My fear was death, yeah? But funny enough, I'm not afraid of my own death. Sometimes I even romanticize it.
Yeah, we actually talked about like the songs we'd want to
Oh my god.
I just romanticize my death. I'm like, yeah, you guys cremate me and throw my ashes in the sea or something, and yeah, keep the rest somewhere in the house, and you can make like a nice cute shrine or whatever. She wants a shrine. I think I romanticize it because I'm also so afraid of the people around me passing on, and it's inevitable. It's either me first or someone else, you know. And at the end of the day, that's where we're all headed. And that's the thing about fears. Not all of them. Some are rational, some are irrational. Some are certain. Some have no probability of ever happening, but then you're still afraid of them.
Yeah.
Some are so fleeting.
Yeah.
Like you feel, I don't know, you're scared, but you're really not scared. Like say there's fear of like being broke, and you're right there buying your last, using like your last money.
I need to.
Food and Uber Eats.
And you're genuinely scared of like the eventuality, but you're still.
Yeah, it's like that TikTok for like that video. Elsa says like, I've been broke before, I didn't die.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, because I've not had money before, and I've been okay. So I get what you're saying.
Fears, it's also a hard topic for me to go into, especially like, because like it's hard to tell you, for me especially, to accept my fears. I'm the person who's not scared of anything, you know? And so I act like I don't acknowledge my fears, and I don't know if that's a healthy thing. I don't know if it's me, like if it could be something inevitable, but it's just the acknowledging that I'm scared of that. I don't like to do that, so I
don't think that's healthy, personally.
But yeah, it's not healthy to not acknowledge.
Yeah.
But I feel like it also, to an extent, it helps me. Not especially when I realize I'm not acknowledging something. It brings that awareness to me when I notice that there's this is what's going to happen, and I'm trying to look at things like this.
Yeah.
That moment in itself, when I finally meet it, because I guess what I'm saying is it's inevitable to not acknowledge your fears.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much you put them off, you'll still have that moment. And so I think that's the moment that I fear the most, even. Just the acknowledging I have a fear, just acknowledging that, guy, so like for example, if I was saying my parents are going to die, or like for me it's a failure, not failure, but not attaining the things I want.
Yeah, that's a huge fear.
Yeah,
That's a huge
That's actually what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's also mine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So it's just I don't like to linger in that moment. So I guess that's why I try to overlook it. In as much as I'm acknowledging it, I try not to linger in it, and it's not good because you have to sometimes sit
With your fears.
sit with your fears.
So I have a question. Do you think that when you don't acknowledge your fear, it manifests in other ways?
Like what?
I think so.
Okay. For me, when I realized that I wasn't acknowledging, most of my fears, when I don't acknowledge them, they pop up in my dreams.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really weird. Like, I'll dream about it over and over
Oh
and over.
my god, that's
again.
so true.
That's
so true.
creepy. I'm like, dead as until I'm like, okay, fine, it's fine. Imagine I'm actually afraid of this and it's okay. It could happen.
Yeah.
But then again, it could not. And like that's what life is about. It's maintaining curiosity, you know. But dead as when I'm not acknowledging my fears, they pop up in my dreams. And now how I recognize my deepest fears is I've been dreaming about them for the longest time. Yeah. So, and it said ever since I was a kid, like my mom tells me when I was younger, I'd wake up every day and I'd tell her my worst fear then was falling inside a manhole. So
Growing up.
like as a 2-3-year-old, because my mom
just an abyss and
because like my mom would tell me, hey, tebu usikanyange hiyo manhole, ukienda utaenda utoke Dandora.
Hey, son.
Ah, shit. Fuck, can't you tell her? Maybe that like I'm thinking about it.
You're like, you would never get into any manhole ever.
As in, like, but it was like a joke, you know. But then, like me, I took it seriously. So I dream about every night. I'm nimeanguka kwa sewage. No, then it was
It's
sewage.
so bad because I've dreamt about Nini falling into a manhole a lot of times.
No, then I didn't even know it was a manhole. Mimi nilikuwa nafikiria tu ni sewage. So I'd wake up in the morning, I'm crying. She's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Mom, sewage."
Oh no.
Every day, and like that sewage had snakes and
Oh my
god. So that was my fear as a 3-year-old, and then growing up now, I've seen it like, you know, changing, and yeah. But generally, I'd say my fears manifest in my dreams, and it's creepy as fuck.
Okay.
Where do your fears manifest? Your dreams?
Probably it's usually my dreams. I have dreamt of that one for failure, because my biggest fear is failure. I have dreamed of a lot of times when that has happened, and I don't like it at all. I don't like. So failure for me, it's just I've been working so hard all my life. I can't. It's just like it can't. If failure happens to me, it's very just unfair because I've been doing so much for my whole life.
Yeah.
So like for me, that's just my biggest fear because why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it's that.
Okay, for me, I think my biggest fear is driving, and it's because my biggest fear is getting into an accident while I'm behind the wheel. That's literally my biggest fear. That's why honestly, you guys, I can't. Okay, not that I can't drive. I don't like. I'm not ready to like start driving yet because of that.
But then
You'd have to get over that.
I'd have to like start like get over it first before I start driving, before I go back to driving school. Because I did go to driving school. But just the fact that I'm gonna be alone in the car by myself.
Who does that?
What if I get into an accident and die? You know, I'm not ready to die, and also like death is also like a
So
fear of mine.
you're not
Exactly.
your own death.
I'm afraid of my own death. Yeah, I am.
For sure.
Yeah, I am.
Do you know, let me tell you what happened. Something happens to me and it's so crazy. You see, there's always this voice in your head. This is why like sometimes I don't like driving because when I'm driving sometimes, like maybe I can be on a road and then like the next part is like someplace steep. So it's very easy for you to really. Sometimes I'm usually thinking like just drive.
Drive.
Do you know? That's fucked up.
Babe,
That's messed
because
up.
you see that road like Lavington, you know that steep road,
Yeah.
that steep, road, like in Lavington, as you're going towards, you're going towards Lavington, I think. It's Kilimani there. That road that usually goes like, it's so steep. Let me tell you, that's literally, I hate using that road so much because I'm always like, oh my god, what if this car starts going down? My biggest fear is being in a car, getting into an accident and then dying like that.
And I know there's people who are afraid of like particular roads.
Like particular roads.
I know someone who's afraid of Mombasa Road. For me, I'm specifically very afraid of Mbagathi Way. For me, it's Mbagathi Way, especially Mbagathi Way coming down. Yeah, even when I'm driving there, I usually say my prayer nikifika Ngumo. I'm like, okay, I say my prayers, then nashuka yo Mbagathi Way nikifika hapo, I'm like, hey, rest in peace, Tracy.
Oh my god, baby.
Same. I am really afraid of driving on Mbagathi.
I'm not so scared of Mbagathi. I'm scared of Thika Road though.
But no, I was talking about manifesting your fears. You know, sometimes you're not aware that you're afraid of something.
Like, I was thinking that when she was talking. Like,
sometimes you're not aware that you're afraid of something, and you end up self-sabotaging. Because you're afraid of it.
Give an example.
Okay. So let's say in the case of being afraid of failure, you're so afraid of failure, but then now when you guys have said it, I've thought about it and I was like, So you're actually afraid of failure, but then you've never really sat down to acknowledge it. And I'm realizing that the fact that I've been afraid of failure, but I haven't acknowledged it until this very moment, as we are sitting here, I've had moments where I'm self-sabotage. Like I can't, I'm crippled, you're feeling, what do you call it? Paralyzed. It's like your fear paralyzes you. So that you don't even know that you're paralyzed, but you don't even realize it, but then
it's manifesting in like how you're reacting to situations that involve failure, for example.
It's like I know I'm just gonna fail anyway, so I'm not even gonna try.
I'm not gonna try.
That happens. Oh my god, that happens to me.
It's like, oh fuck it. But then you're saying fuck it because you're actually really afraid of this thing. I feel like this also happens in relationships. Like you're really scared to get hurt in a relationship, so you're like, fuck it, I don't even care.
That's how you self-sabotage.
Oh my god,
that's
because you're not acknowledging your fear.
That's true.
Unashinda tu hapo, gang, you know.
So also like I have another fear, which is death by drowning. I'm terrified. Especially for me because I can't swim. So every time I'm thinking about when we even go to the coast and we're on those boats and we're going to like the other side of like the island and I'm in that boat, I'm constantly thinking, oh my goodness, if this boat like overturns, that's it, like I'll die. So you should see me on those boats. I'm always like this on the day, holding on to dear life, like you know, because that's a I'm just I always do it for the people like I want it, you know, because you know it's so crazy. But yeah, I'm so scared of drowning and I'm so scared of like dying by drowning. Yep.
Or the fairy stories. Wow.
The fairy stories. Oh my god.
Worst fear, honestly.
Let me tell you, I have another one. My worst one, actually, I'm very afraid of the ocean. To be honest, yes, I have been on the ocean. I've seen I've seen like dolphins, everything. But then let me tell you, at no point am I, what's it called, scuba diving or like all that shit. I'm not, because I don't know. Even like when I swim, to be honest, even when I'm swimming, there's this thing happens to me and I don't understand why. I can't enter a pool by myself because immediately I close my eyes inside the pool.
You can't see anything.
I can see. I feel like there are creatures coming towards me, like a
I know.
a shark or something.
I get that too. I feel like there's for me it's snakes and like eels and sharks. But for me it's like I'm always like, oh my god, it's coming.
I can't be in a pool by myself. For the sea, for the ocean, I just fear the ocean. So because actually you don't know.
You don't know
what's creatures. So the creatures that haven't even been discovered.
mind. Exactly.
Like it's a very scary for me.
Kind of cool though. Like if you think
It's
about
cool.
it.
It's very
It's
interesting.
the most cool
Yo,
place to
it's-
just go discovering.
I
it.
just
It's cool, but it's so scary. It's so scary, bro.
Even just a boat.
There's
is
parts
quite
where
scary.
the light
It's like,
doesn't get to.
Yes.
Even when
That's mad.
when Narivera like passed on and like I had like she drowned, like she couldn't come like back up, I was just like, that's like the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst. Because it could happen. Because it's not like she doesn't know how to swim. You had like she's been going to that lake ever since she was a child, but she still couldn't like save herself.
I think
So
we
much
need to add like a
happens.
trigger warning.
Yeah, like
in the
a
beginning
trigger.
of
Yeah,
this
exactly.
video.
We need to put like a trigger on it because that shit is scary.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember this show called The Ultimate Fear?
Yeah, okay, no.
It's a show. It's called The Ultimate Fear.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is these guys do really creepy stuff, like go into haunted houses and eat like weird things, and some of them enter a tub full of snakes. There's another one where
That's like Fear Factor.
yeah, it's
like fear factor.
Oh, it's Fear Factor.
what did I say? Wait, there's a series called The Ultimate something also.
I can't.
Let us know.
Anyway, yeah, Fear Factor.
Yeah. Oh, Fear Factor was great. Fear Factor.
Fear factor.
They
Wow.
were literally capitalizing on the Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally capitalizing on it. Like that's. Oh my
So
God.
everybody has fears.
Everybody has fear.
Wait, are you guys afraid of people? Like kuna msetu unaonanga and then uko like, eh, umseve then na mobo.
Not really for me. For me, it's just the scenario of like thieves. Big mug, like those are the kind of like when it associated to people.
Yeah.
I'm scared
Do you
of
think
those.
people are
I
afraid
walk
of you?
over my shoulder like.
I think so.
People are afraid of you. Should they be afraid of you?
No, let me tell you, it's not even that they
danger.
should, it's just that they judge it off of just looking at me. Because like I have been told so many times about my eyes, I look like all the time I look very stern. And even when we were in high school, there were so many people who used to say it's really they used to fear me, and I'm like, it's just because like my eyes used to look like that.
It's not by mistake. It's not.
I'm very stern.
Yeah.
I don't smile around. Yeah.
Mine is always smiling, but like.
No, these days I'm better. Kitambo I was badly off. But then like people have told me, unajana kuogopanga juu unakanga hupendangi jokes. Stuff like that. See, sipendangi jokes.
Jokes to mind, lakini ujinga.
Yeah, ujinga, that's what I mean. Ujinga.
Sipendi ujinga.
But I don't think anyone at his fears me.
When I'd say maybe
I
I don't
think
like
so.
even intimidated, but intimidated maybe.
Yeah.
But fear, a guy, I hope
Fear is
not.
a strong word.
Yeah, fear is a-
I wouldn't want anyone to be.
Yeah,
Please don't
fear is
fear.
a
If
strong
you
word.
please don't fear me.
Planes. Let me tell you, I hate flying. That's like the worst. If I could, let's say, if I could drive around the world,
Yeah.
or like use a train or use not even a ship.
A sheep?
No. I will because let me tell you, I hate the turbulence. For me, I can't. The whole time I'm usually like on the seat like this. I'm usually like shaking or something. The landings, oh my God, I hate everything about flying. I hate, and I fear it so much because I fear heights. You fear heights, so you're seeing everything down below, and no, please, I'm afraid of flying.
No, you remember.
I'd rather choose any other means than flying.
Do you do that thing when you're seated somewhere and you're thinking, so I'm in this plane. I would like, before you go somewhere, you're like, which would be the safest route for me to
Exactly,
get?
I do that.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes. Like, I sit there weighing my options. I'm like, headed to I spend a million nights on the road as opposed to being in a plane and then something happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're there.
Even when the hostesses are
But it doesn't
explaining
stop me.
Kwambele the way you're supposed to, I'm usually so keen. I'm usually
yeah.
This is what you do.
And you remember in school we used to learn about like the safest ways of like transport. And see, I thought like flying was the safest.
Oh my God.
It was like the one
It's the safest
accident
because
rarely happens.
It's just fatal.
Yeah, the thing is like when it happens, like you all die.
Exactly, it's like fatal.